Ken Hovind is back once again, and apparently he didn't learn his lesson from broccoli last time, and he's moved on to another vegetable that we can prove is not something that God created or cultivated, that we currently have in our recipes, and that we actually use and grow, and there's a lot of history behind this thing. But I'm going to let him go ahead and speak his mind on whatever the fuck he's going to say, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about it a bit.
We've been talking about a variety of things that I don't think it's possible for them to have evolved. And I've been asking questions here for the last, 14 Bible studies that not a single evolutionist or atheist has even attempted to answer.
Except everyone that took your broccoli video, ran with it, laughed at you about it, and we brought up every article that we could possibly find on Google. It's like a cottage industry that exists to debunk your stupid shit, Dr. Hovind. Wait, I'm sorry. That's an insult to everybody else who is actually a doctor in this country. You do not get to use that title just because you paid for a degree where your thesis started off with, "Hello, my name is Ken Hovind." Oh, man, you piss me off so bad sometimes. Anyway, let's let the stream of bullshit continue.
None of you have even tried. Instead, you go off into your ad hominem attacks and attack me personally or attack creationists in general.
Same difference there, sir. You are a creationist, and we will ad hom you. However, in between us calling you a massive stack of dipshittery, we've also debunked everything that you've brought up on just about every single one of your videos that you put out there. You could take 3 to 4 minutes and go to Google and look this stuff up on your own. And even sources where you might actually agree with them. You know, you deny science in just about every other venue that comes up. However, you're okay with, as long as it goes with your worldview, you're okay with that kind of science. However, even with celery, I don't know how you get to this point.
I would like a simple answer for these things. How did they evolve? Tonight we're going to talk about celery.
Sorry, I jumped the gun on that, people. But you already knew looking at the title for this one. He's going to be talking about celery. Yes, he's going like through A through Z here. He has a whole list of chloroplasts, cockroach, cat, I don't know why, cerebellum, cockroach, and tonight he's going with celery. Yes, celery of all things. Anyway, here he goes.
Now you guys believe strong, huh?
You have a little less. It was bigger, huh?
It was bigger. Somebody came and stole some. Yeah, okay. We won't mention any names, but that's okay.
With the way that he was kind of holding it up there, there's almost a circumcision joke there, where, you just nip the tip. Anybody who watches Robin Hood Men in Tights will love that joke.
I'm used to it. Okay. Within the plant kingdom, celery. How could celery have evolved slowly by chance, and from what?
Other types of plants that are like celery? I mean, what do you mean? Evolved from what? I've got an NPR article here that says celery. Why? Celery, mild-mannered straight man of the vegetable world, packs a puny 6 calories per stalk. The paradox puzzled me enough that I called a bunch of specialists, and they say, celery is odd, right? Says botanist Charles Davis of Harvard University. And he says it's part of the umbellifers family, which celery belongs. And that most of the species of that kind of plant are wickedly poisonous, Socrates being one who famously died by consuming water hemlock, which is a member of the celery family. Interesting. Wild celery is native to Mediterranean areas, according to the doctor, though archaeological remains from Switzerland have suggested that humans were transporting celery seeds as early as 4000 BC, and it goes on and on and on. Egypt, Rome, and China had their own versions of it. The Greeks and Romans used celery they used the leaves for the crowns for their athletes. There was one found in Tutankhamun's tomb. They say that it's probably because it was a filler food back in the old days. You take a chicken and you feed it to one person, but if you take a chicken and add it to soup with lots of vegetables, you can feed a whole family. However, in this whole thing it talks up here is that we know cultivation of celery began in Michigan in the late 1800s. The crop grew well in the state's mild summers, and Dutch immigrants in the area seized the opportunity to farm the vegetable for a celery-curious American market. Today, the average American consumes about 6 pounds of celery per year. So, there you go. In the 1800s, we have evidence of us cultivating this into becoming a better plant than it originally was.
And I don't want a SpongeBob just imagine millions of year story. I would like some hard scientific evidence. What is the ancestor of celery if it wasn't celery?
Umbellifers, I think is what they said there. I could look this up for him, but he obviously isn't going to do any of the work, so why the fuck should I do it for him?
What was it? And if it was something other than celery, please tell me how it changed. How many trillions of intermediate steps would there have to be to go from an amoeba to celery? I would say it would take a lot.
Yeah, that's exactly what evolution is talking about, you dumbass. He doesn't understand how things get from one form to another. Can he even look at the examples of speciation that are given to him multiple times throughout history, throughout Darwin's studies alone? We have that special series of lizards that grew on one level of the cave and couldn't mate with the ones at the lower level of the cave because the speciation was different enough. We could even go so far as to look at the wolf and how that eventually became a fucking chihuahua through artificial selection, if you want to say it there, Kent. Oh man, I hate this guy.
I'd like to see what's the evidence for that, not just imagine. That's what they do. Evolution is a religion.
No, it is not. It is definitely not. And we don't just imagine things happening. We come up with ways to test our hypotheses. We don't start with, this is how it should be. Let me try to get the information that leads to that. We go, okay, this is the information that was provided to us. How could that possibly have happened? And then they run tests and they run tests and they run tests. It is not I need to come up with my own answer and then find data to fill in for it. That's not how it fucking works in science.
And you don't like me saying that, and that's why I'm going to keep saying it. It's a religion in every sense of the word.
No. There's no dogma that is inside of evolutionists. There's no dogma there. There's no God belief that's necessary for one to be an evolutionist or not. And I hate even using that term. Someone who believes in evolution isn't believing just the fact that things evolved over the time, over millions and trillions, and I can't use trillions. That's his fucking terminology. He can't do that shit. Evolution happened regardless of whether we believe in it or not. How about that? Let's go with that one, Kent. Let's talk about how even if there was a wipeout of your religion, Christianity, humans decimated over the next 6,000 to 10,000 years and somehow managed to claw our way back into some sort of semblance of a society that we have right now, some sort of great anachronism that would happen to us. We would eventually find out this evolution stuff again if everything was lost. Not guaranteed that we're going to find out about your God through all that shit again.
It's a pagan, heathen religion. Is there any evidence for these changes? Is it more logical to believe that maybe a creator designed it?
You throw logic completely out the fucking window when you bring in a god or a creator. Because you take that relatively simple solution and you add a much more complicated and hard to explain away level of complexity. It's more simple to think that different variations happen within a group of plants, let's just say the celery plant, that people finally start going, okay, well, we can cultivate this one to make the stalks longer. These ones grow longer than those ones. Let's cross-pollinate this one with that one. Let's make this happen. Or, you know what, even if it happens in the natural world, things happen over time that certain traits are picked over other ones. And it's going to happen over millions and millions of years. And it's a lot more easy to believe that happened than some timeless, featureless, spaceless God entity somehow managed to touch the 0.000000001% of the known universe that we have with his special little brand of special little monkey that is going to somehow come up with this fucking asshole that's going to be talking to us through the internet, which is a science tool, which he's going to deny all basic science. You are not a doctor. You are not a smart man. Ken Hovind, seriously, go fuck yourself.